Welcome to day 481 of our DSO journey. I'm Ed Krasenstein here with my twin brother Brian. And remember, these videos are being sponsored by NFT Tech. They are an investor in DSOFi. So, Brian, what is the latest in the Elon Musk Twitter soap opera?
Yeah, so you know that from yesterday's news, Elon was trying to get the judge to delay the trial to give him and his legal team more time to search for possible facts lead pointing to the fact that Twitter may have uh, underestimated their bot activity. But a judge granted Twitter a trial. It's going to be a 5-day trial starting in October. And it's important to note October is when the actual merger was supposed to, not merger, the acquisition was supposed to take place, October 24th, actually. So this would actually put the trial before the drop dead date, which is basically the deadline, if reached before the transaction's finalized, allows both parties to walk away. So this would put the trial before that drop dead date. Uh, Interesting. Twitter sought to expedite this trial from the start because it's important. They feel for their corporation to not continue to get badgered in a long, drug out legal fight. And the judge agreed with this. The judge actually said the reality is the delay threatens irreparable harm to the seller, Twitter. So Twitter got what they wanted. It's a big win for Twitter. Whether Elon will figure out some other way to try and maybe buy Twitter at a lower price, or if we'll actually go through with this trial, we'll see. But we're only about 3 months away from the trial.
Yeah, Twitter seems to be digging their heels in. Elon seems to be digging his in. It's going to be interesting to see what comes of this. Uh, Meanwhile, Elon's in Mykonos vacationing. Uh, he could lose some money here if things don't go his way. He could lose some money and end up with nothing. So you have to think that he's at least a little stressed over this and a little frustrated and probably a little bit angry.
Yeah,
I
and when you say end up with nothing, you mean end up with nothing from this deal. He's not going to lose his $250 billion.
No, yeah, I mean, end up with nothing and end up having to give up maybe $1 billion or more. So
Right.
it has to be frustrating. I can kind of see things from both points of view. Twitter wants to have a quick trial. They don't want to have to release all this data that they feel they shouldn't have to. And Elon, on the other hand, wants to prove that Twitter doesn't actually have the amount of accounts that they claim, so that he can kind of, I guess, so he can be right, and so he can perhaps get a lower price. Maybe he's having second thoughts since his offer was put in when the markets were at the top. So we'll have to wait and see, and it's going to be interesting to see where this goes.
Yeah, so what's going on with the Bitcoin price?
Yeah, so you might recall a couple days ago I mentioned the $22,500 range as a key resistant level. Uh, Bitcoin had hit that several times and fallen below it. And I said if I think if we could close out a daily candle above 22.5, we could see a run, at least temporarily run up, and we have. It's up to $23,870 at the time of this video. Uh, it broke that resistance level, and it closed out that daily candle. It's actually closed out a candle yesterday above that level, and today's candle is shooting up even higher. There is some more resistance, probably around the 26.6 mark, and then some really solid resistance at the 28.4 mark. So we're gonna see, can it hit that? Can it maybe even break through it? Can we maybe see the end to the bear crypto market? I don't know. I think a lot of that's going to depend more on inflation, and we're probably still another 3 weeks away from learning more about whether or not inflation has reached a peak and has been going down in the U.S. And I think that's going to be a key data point to watch.
Yeah, and I think we could see some selling pressure here soon. Uh, we're up about what $6,000 or so from the bottom. The U.S. markets were down in pre-market activity today, and Bitcoin was up, which is probably a pretty positive sign because it's straying from the U.S. markets a bit, which is something that investors look for, especially given the fact that it hasn't always been disconnected to the US markets.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully we can see them kind of stray away from each other. At least I think that's what most people in the crypto space would like to see. So moving on, DAO. Of course, the DAO of DAOs had a proposal, and that proposal was finalized yesterday after the votes all came in. And the proposal was for whether DAO should introduce trading fees for those trading DAO tokens on the platform. And they were initially zero. The vote was to say, okay, do we want to increase these or keep them at zero? And 52.1% of the minted coins voted, and they voted for no increase. So I think
Yeah.
I think that's what we wanted, Brian and I. 52.1% of the votes voted for no increase, and I think I think it overall is a good thing. A new DAO vote is coming though. A new DAO vote is going to come, and it's going to be which investment in treasury currency should be added to DAO. So should it be Dogecoin? Should it be Solana? What actually I think Solana. Yeah, Solana is, I don't think that it's an option yet. But which cryptos do you want to see come to DAO? That's next. Which do
Yeah,
you want to see,
and
Brian?
I don't I love Dogecoin. I'd love to see Dogecoin. I think we'll just get some fun people in it on the mix. But yeah, I totally agree with the no raising of the fee. I look at it as a startup, and any startup, you're not worried about raising revenue right out of the gate. You're worried about building a product that's better than any product out there, and innovating upon a specific space. Later, maybe a year or two down the road, then you can start worrying about revenue models and how you're going to bring revenue in. But it's too early for that.
Yeah, and speaking of DAO, there's a Twitter Spaces this Friday, July 22nd at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. It's a DAO Twitter Space, but they're also having Cabin on there. Cabin, as well as Jonathan Hillis of Cabin. And what Cabin is, you can find them on Creator Cabins on Twitter, is a decentralized city built by creators for creators. They're what they call say that what they claim to be is the DAO to help other DAOs accelerate their work by getting together in real life. So they basically build these cabins. People get together in these cabins who have met in the metaverse, who have met on Web3 to build together in real life. So it's going to be interesting to see this Twitter Spaces with DAO and Cabin. Uh, Cabin isn't based on DAO. Maybe in the future they could be. But like the other Twitter Spaces, I think it's good to kind of bring people in the DAO space together for these spaces because it's going to introduce them to DAO, and maybe we'll start seeing more DAOs being formed on DAO because of it.
Yeah, I love that idea. Cabin's pretty cool too. So Agora Labs, we haven't heard from them or about them in a while. What's going on with them?
Yeah, so Agora Labs, formerly BitPerks, Charles One is the 18-year-old creator behind it, at least one of the
Who
creators
we've
behind
had
it.
him on our show a couple times actually.
Yeah, they
Great,
have.
smart young man.
Yeah, he's very smart. They have launched their long-awaited Phase 3. So you can now sign up for an account with DSO. Uh, if you're a creator, you can set up your profile to get funded by your community. So if you're, an Instagram influencer, YouTube star, you can kind of set it up so that your community can invest into you. And then you're going to reward your supporters, uh, have token gated access to what you have to offer, the value you have to offer. If you're a supporter and you're a supporter of these creators, you can create an account that's going to allow you to unlock unique utility from your favorite creators. You're going to be able to participate in their success, and you're going to be able to get rewarded for being an early supporter of them. I think this can really reignite creator coins. I know they use creator coins like that. At first, BitPerks launched, it was all about creator coins. They still are using creator coins, but they're also utilizing NFTs to gate certain things, and they're going to allow tiers for people to buy tiers using DSO. So you're going to be able to purchase perks using DSO. So it's definitely a really cool project. Check it out. It's agoralabs.xyz. You don't need to already have a DSO account or anything to sign up. Definitely check it out. It's kind of, I think, a new direction for Web3 that's going to allow creators to fully monetize themselves.
Yeah, and Charles One has been building this for many, many months. Uh, he's doing a really good job, and the way it works is really simple. It's simplistic. It's easy for the random person to understand. Don't really have to know too much about Web3. I think the only problem thus far has been just a lack of new daily active users and retained users on DSO. But once this number picks up, I think Agora Labs is well positioned to really take advantage of the situation. It's definitely something that people want. It adds utility to a user's account, and of course, it adds additional ways to monetize, which you can already monetize in several ways on DSO, but this just adds to it. And like I said, once the user base picks up and we can retain more users, Agora is going to be, I think, one of the top companies that are building on DSO.
Yeah, definitely. So there's a new node that's launching soon, Brian.
Yeah, so there's a new node, Cricket Social, and I noticed they had created an account and followed us probably a earlier this week, maybe late last week. But what they're doing is they want to be the world's first decentralized social network for cricket. They're selling NFTs. You can see them at cricketsocial.nftz.me. And these NFTs actually give pre-approved access to the platform. They're going to actually go live on August 8th. So about 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks from now. Uh, According to the white paper, the purpose of Cricket Social is to be a catalyst in brewing alternative sources of income for players, coaches, teams, other cricket staff, and most importantly, the fans. Uh, and players and teams can create their own profile. Fans can invest in their favorite players, and teams become teams. You can become a stakeholder in the team, and kind of, as they succeed, you succeed, and as they become more popular, you become more popular. There will also be team and group DAOs created, but this is something that I envisioned would have happened many, many months ago. And when I saw DSO, I kind of felt like the where it's going to excel are within these niche markets. So if you want to create a minor league baseball social media platform just around minor league baseball, you could do that, and you wouldn't have that problem of not having any eyeballs on what you're doing because you already have that user base. And I think this is the first real example that we're seeing where you had this niche market jump into the social space to create their own social network, and they don't have to worry about that it was first several months of just trying to get users to come on because they're already there.
Yeah, and definitely check it out at cricket.social. Uh, it's launching soon. You said 3 to 4 weeks. I think it's more like 2.5 to 3 weeks. Um, we're gonna have players who have Cricket Social accounts, and those accounts are gonna be built on DSO. So it's gonna be interesting because we're gonna start seeing these accounts popping up on Diamond App, on NFTZ. These accounts that are cricket players, cricket coaches, and cricket fans. Even cricket teams are gonna have their own account, and cricket matches are gonna have their own accounts, I believe. So it might be a little confusing if you're seeing these accounts on Diamond, but it's gonna make complete sense on Cricket Social, and I think that's the direction we're going to be going with Web3. Is there's going to be all these smaller, more niche markets built on DSO
And
that.
funneling it all into the big pool of all DSO users, which is, I think, how we're best to market DSO is to have these niche markets funnel people into the whole pool, and then those people can find other niche markets within the DSO
Yeah, so
protocol.
I mean, they'll be signing up, they'll be creating a DSO account. They might not be interested in Diamond app, but maybe one day they discover Diamond app. They're like, oh wow, I already have an account here. I can use this. I already have this many followers. I have a coin price that's this high. Maybe I'll start using Diamond app. Oh, maybe I need to mint some NFTs. Maybe I'll go over to NFTZ.me and mint some NFTs. So I love this.
Yeah. So what's IZ doing?
Well, so we all know about the DISO conference. Last year it was in Italy, and I remember viewing all these photos. If you're on DISO back then, I'm sure you remember as well. I mean, there are photos of Izzy jumping into a pool. They rented this beautiful house in Italy, and it was, from what the looks of it, we unfortunately couldn't make it. From the looks of it, it was an extraordinary time. So this year they're planning one as well, and the community decided that it's going to be in Ibiza, and IZ is at the forefront of kind of organizing things, and various DSO apps have committed to participating in panels for the event. And IZ specifically wants to welcome the DSO core team to be a part of it this year. And she's hoping that they kind of contribute something to it, maybe help out financially, uh, so that this event in Europe can be as exciting as it was last year and as exciting as the event in Los Angeles in America was this year.
Yeah, I'd love to go to this event if it works out scheduling wise. It would be awesome just to meet some of our European DSO users. We've met so many American DSO users, but not many from Europe.
Yeah, so name squatting is taking place on DSO again. We recall this took place quite some time ago, several months ago, with like a lot of the 3 character, 4 character, 5 character, 6 character names being swept up. I think you can expect this to happen, but Salil Sethi noted that according to Open Prosper, it's happening again. And I just checked Open Prosper right before this video, and there were 559 new accounts created on DSO yesterday, and the vast majority of these new accounts are just single words, maybe some names. A lot of they're in another language, not in English, and they have been created in the masses, no profile photos. So it's name squatting, at least that's what it appears to be. Somebody's buying up these names, hoping that that one day there's a rush to buy names on DSO, and they're going to own so many of these key terms.
Yeah, I'm not sure what you think here. The one positive I take from it is that whoever's doing it thinks DSO has a bright future because they wouldn't be doing this. But yeah, I mean, it does kind of suck, especially if you're coming onto DSO, you want a specific username, and it's taken by somebody that just really wants to profit off of you. But I guess that's the name of the game. I guess that's how this is going to work, and it's just something we should probably get used to because I'm not really sure what the best solution would be.
I think it would be useful if there's another field for username and your handle. So,
Yeah.
like we could be Krasenstein, but our username could be Ed and Brian Krasenstein. I think we need that because there will be people, celebrities who come on to DSO, and they have the same username on Instagram, on Twitter, on TikTok, and they'd like to have the same name on DSO. At least if they could have their name there, then it would make it more appealing, I think.
Yeah, I totally agree. So Deso Lander, they have a NFT series ready to launch today. It's actually a project by Deso OG Nigels. They're going to have 100 Genesis Deso Landers. I'm not really sure what Deso Landers are. Are they dinosaurs? Are they something else? So some of the images that I saw look like it's kind of like dinosaur bones everywhere, but maybe I'm wrong in that. But when they do start being minted, you can check them out at dsolander.nftz.me.
PBMC has a collectible airdrop that's coming today at 12:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And what happens then at 12:30 p.m., they're going to take a snapshot of all the Genesis NFT holders of PBMC, and those holders are going to get an airdrop. I love what PBMC is doing. It's a DAO. It's a DAO that has purchased other NFT collections to kind of take them over. And I really think they're onto something. They haven't raised a ton of money, but with the money they've raised, I think they've been using it for really good, really good potential future revenue generators.
Yeah, I love the project. I think we'll see more projects like this. Hopefully we do. And I totally agree with everything you said about them.
So GDS and GD Virtual Galleries just launched the DAODAO Virtual Hub. A lot of people are excited about this. A lot of people are awaiting it. It's now here. They're featuring NFT projects from different chains and platforms such as Flow, Moonwalk, of course, DSO, and many more. They're also giving away a GD Virtual Gallery. You need to find a secret password within the DAODAO Virtual Hub. And then with that secret password, there's a few things you need to do. You can get more details if you go to the link above this video on DSO or below it on YouTube. Love what GDS is doing. This virtual hub looks amazing. I took a little walk around it in VR this morning.
Yeah, it was really cool. I did the same thing. GDS is doing an amazing job. So before we get to the top NFT bids for the last 24 hours, I just want to give a shout out to BitClout FR who created this amazing NFT with Ed and I in it. I'm not sure if I like the eyelashes, but uh,
Yeah.
just want to give a shout out. Thanks. Check it out. You can check it out at bitclout f underscore fr dot nftz dot me.
Yeah,
But
it's really amazing. I love the work. And I also want to say happy birthday to two people, Nordian and Jaylene Cook. They're both celebrating birthdays today. Happy birthday, guys. You're both OGs of DSO.
happy birthday. Definitely happy birthday. So the top NFT bids in the last 24 hours, thanks to NFTZ, these people bid on the most NFTs in the last day. Spunk Art was number one, followed by Meta Philosophers, who is back up there again. BitClout FR, who we just mentioned, followed by La Big Mac, Studio Richards, Vishnu Solarin, Jane D, Kevin Sod, Dragonstone, Consensus Future. Congrats to all of them. And the most viewed NFT in the last 24 hours. Drum roll, please. 6 days in a row, The Mask by Photography by Michelle. So congrats. And quickly getting to the top Diamond Day creators for the last 24 hours, according to Altum Base, we were number one, followed by Diso Newspaper, Jaylene Cook, Pixel Robot, Ashine, Now and Then, Quanti, Michelle Lord, Spunk Art, and Yuchi. So congrats to all of them.
Yeah, congratulations. And I think that's all the news we have for today. There's actually a good amount of news today, and we will talk to everyone tomorrow.